And much of Mexico's manufacturing strength comes from its auto industry. And with a strong dollar expected to lose some of its punch, economists are hoping to add to the industry's hard-hit exports. CCTV's Martin Markowitz reports.
Mexico's once booming auto exports are falling. They declined by almost 6% in November compared with the year before. This was discouraging news for Mexico's automobile sector, which represents a third of the country's total manufacturing base. Industry observers say Mexico's problems are tied to the current world economy, in which exports in both Brazil and China have fallen by 70% in a year. Others say the problem is rooted closer to home. The U.S., Mexico's biggest trade partner, showed a reluctance to increase interest rates until Wednesday, causing the dollar to appreciate.
And I think that Mexican manufacturing production, the automobile industry in particular, and the export industry part of it, is very much attached to this sector of the U.S. economy. So that I think that all this turmoil and kind of inaction from the Federal Reserve is pretty much behind most of this.
Hit hardest by the decline in exports in Mexico is Volkswagen. They dropped more than 27% in November compared to 2014, the biggest decline among the 8 auto companies in Mexico that export cars. The German automaker has been under scrutiny for faking its environmental emissions standards. With the U.S. now set on a 1/4% interest rate hike, some economists believe a turnaround in Mexico could be near, and exports will rise again.
I think that it's just a temporary glitch. If you go and you look at all the different automobile producers in Mexico, you'll find that almost every single one has actually carried out heavy investment to increase their installed capacity, and most of that installed capacity is aimed for the export market. So I think that all companies are thinking of exporting more in the future.
Volkswagen is taking steps in Mexico to change its environmental image following the emissions scandal. This week, the automaker signed an agreement in which wind farms will power 2 of its factories in Mexico, perhaps a sign of changes in the air for Mexico's auto manufacturing sector. Martin Markowitz, CCTV, Mexico City.